Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness, Rage Across New York. We set our scene at the Seeker's Cabin, where probably only just lately Felix will be heading out, probably getting, off around the corner right about time that Aiden's returning from his patrols or whatever the hell else he gets up to during the day. Either way, 10 Point has come politely to the porch to see Felix off. And we'll probably turn to glance the other direction, kind of sending an inquisitive pulse through the pack link to see if Aiden is about his usual schedule.
She'll get just a back, and she gets the impression that Aiden is in his bed.
In his bed? The whole time Felix was there?
Yep. Fast asleep.
Her brow knits almost immediately, and she turns about and hastily lets herself back in. And she will be readily heard. Well, readily is relative, I guess, being barefooted. But yeah, we'll patter through the cabin, probably coming to rest just outside of Aiden's door, where she'll pop a lean against the wall.
Yeah, you're here. You can come in if you want.
And she kind of rolls her lips for a minute, and then reaches out and kind of tentatively opens the door.
She'll probably walk in, she'll see him staring at himself in the mirror, just like looking down at his body. He has boxers on, he's not fucking fully naked. But he's staring at himself, kind of oddly.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Fine, why wouldn't it be?
Kind of blinks. I must have confused your patrol schedule.
I didn't go on patrol today.
He's still getting kind of a doubtful looking at.
I mean, you can see, probably just from what 10 Point can just get, he's like put his hands on the mirror several times because you can see the finger marks on it,
Mm-hmm.
His fingerprints.
And she eases a little closer. Right, are you sure you're all right?
I'm fine. And turn. I'm fine.
Should I be rolling against this?
Yeah, totally. You can roll if you want. If you want to roll, you can roll away, Katie.
I have doubts. I have no subterfuge, but I have doubts.
You can roll away. I will attempt to lie. Lie, I say.
For one whole success. We're trying to catch it.
There you go. That's, I think, 3.
Yep.
Why wouldn't that be fine?
It's just a change from your normal behavior, Raya.
I guess we change a lot in this place.
We do.
Do you know, I look at myself every day. I'm starting to not to recognize the fella that looks back at me.
Why do you say that, Raya?
The Aiden Lynch that came here was happier, cockier, different. And the one he's looking back at him now, he's still got the cock in his eye, yeah. He'll smirk a bit. But his heart's heavy. He feels tired.
The Aiden
I
Lynch
don't-
who has...
I don't like losing it like that. He just stare at himself in the mirror.
She kind of purses her lips. Is he already smoking?
Nope.
And to keep herself from being tempted to interrupt his current line of thought again, yeah, she will produce the pack of cigarettes, light and start one, and then offer it over.
I don't need it. It's every time a frenzy 10 point. Every time. I come back here and look at myself in the mirror.
You take it too heavily upon yourself, Raya.
I could have killed him. I could have killed any of you. Very easily, I noticed. If she hadn't been there, well, I let him get inside my head. I normally don't let people in that quickly and that easily, but everything's just been catching up on me lately. All he gave me was excuses and petty smiles. He just shakes his head and, stares at himself.
And finally, with some measure of hesitation, she'll look to set a hand on his shoulder. Raya, until that heart stops beating inside the back of your skull, you'll be distracted. You'll be agitated. But it won't be much longer.
Yeah. I just sit in here like a caged animal. I can't do the things I want to do.
And what do you want to do, Raya?
I'll look over at her. I think you know. I can feel her, 10 point. Occasionally I turn it on, that little tracking thing of mine, just so I can feel her heartbeat.
And she, again, kind of purses her lips and finally just looks at the floor.
He'll look at himself in the mirror again, just staring. I can't handle it, 10 point.
And she kind of pops her head up rather quickly on that one.
Every beat makes me angrier. It makes me just hate myself all that more.
There's nothing to hate, Raya.
There's plenty to hate.
No, Raya. None of us are perfect. But you least of all deserve hate.
That's when he'll whirl around quite angrily. Look at me. Look at the way they looked at me. I guarantee you probably people have told you about what I said to him in front of the Guardians, have they?
No, Raya.
Well, they all fucking looked at me like I was some sort of freak.
You're not a freak, Raya.
A ragabash shouldn't have rage like that.
And yet you do. Luna's intentions are knowable. You are not the first. You will not be the last.
Don't give me that shite 10-point and boosh. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he hits that thing like hard. I'm going to say he takes a point of lethal because he cuts his hand.
And yeah, she will move fairly quickly just to try to keep him from repeating it with the other hand, because if he's on a rip, he might. And we'll just kind of put herself between him and the mirror.
Don't give me that shite. Everyone was different. Everyone had that. Everyone has the same problems as you do. Fucking bollocks as he gets right up into her face. That's just an excuse.
I don't mean to make excuses, Raya. I simply wanted you to understand. You are not the first Ragabash to have an abundance of rage. You're not the first of any auspice to have an abundance. It happens from time to time, and it's hard. But it's not freakish, and it's not unnatural. It's the furthest thing from unnatural.
You didn't see the way they looked at me.
I didn't. And perhaps it is better that way.
I put a lot into the sept. I put a lot. And every day I fight. And all I wanted to do was show those fucking cleats what it means. And all they gave me was excuses, and I got so fucking angry. Because I have so much of this weight on my shoulders. And it feels like I'm going to crack. And it feels like no matter how hard I keep fighting, I'm sinking. And they won't even bother their whole to do anything about what their position is. It disgusted me at that point. And yet I'm the horrible one for doing my fucking goddamn duty. Oh, I think Katie has vanished. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, sweet. I
Hey, there
saw
we
the
go.
button. Awesome.
We're still alive. We're good. We're good, Katie. We're good.
We're still alive, just barely.
Whew. We're good. We're good. So,
Sorry about
what was the
that.
last thing you heard there?
Um, he started saying they were just giving me excuses, and like you started a sentence and it kicked.
Ah, okay. He's like, they were giving me excuses, and yet I shoulder all this fucking burden, all this responsibility without a fucking second. I take it all to a point. I take it because it's my fucking job. It's my duty. And they're fucking whining, whinging about how weak they are. And then I'm the horrible one. Because I do what needs to be done. But yet, and that's all I get every day.
And she will make a passing attempt. She's not going to like forcibly grab his hand, but will make a passing attempt to collect up his bloodied hand to ensure that there aren't still shards of glass in it. Meanwhile, saying, Raya, they lack conviction. Shinlo is very loud, very boisterous, but not strong willed. Why do you think I descended on him? The whining of those who are little better than followers. Of course, you wouldn't understand. You're not a follower. If something must be done, you lead others or you forge on yourself. And she will, unless he has refused to give her the hand, will bring it up and be very possibly plucking some shards from the
Oh,
mirror
yeah.
out of his
Yeah, yeah.
knuckles,
Yep.
showing mild signs of relief, if only because she figured he may well pull back and just punch her with the fucking glass studded knuckle, but hey, bonus. Don't trouble yourself with the product of small minds, Raya.
And then they all look at you like you're fucking crazy.
There are many experiences of being judged that I can share, Raya. That is not one that I've known personally. However they may look at you. The people whose opinions matter know better.
Do they? When my own packmate lies to my face.
Kind of steals a glance up.
Dallas? Oh, did she not tell you? That little girl she's been seeing. Well, you know what she is.
Does she know Raya or does she suspect?
I don't know. She told us that she suspects she's one of them. And yet she still does it anyway. I told her to talk to Banshee about the mess she made, the potential mess she could have made. Heard silence.
Does not mean she does not intend to do it, Raya. She can inquire of her in person. And probably will. It'll be the sound of a couple pieces of glass, like, clicking into the wastebasket. She'll shift his hand again. And finally, goes ahead and just releases it. She's not going to baby him by putting a bandage around it when he can readily heal it away. Best to make sure, however, he doesn't heal things into it, though.
He'll stare at her, the whole time. People think I'm probably weak by doing this.
For doing what, Raya?
Being like this.
For being the way you are, for caring about the opinions of the Accept. Neither is a sign of weakness, Raya. We're social animals.
Heard him. You heard him, Tim, but they don't want people like me. Not unless they want something taken care of. Then, of course, Aidan Lynch is the man you need.
These people are weak of heart and weak of conviction, Raya. Of course, they fear change. They hate change. They try to drive away the source of change. All this, all that drama, all this show, when they're the ones who are trying to change things from the way they're meant to be. You can only hope that eventually they'll come to their senses. Perhaps when they have Omegas in their packs. Perhaps when something helps them see sense, Raya.
He'll just nod slowly. Is it bad that I want her to die, 10 Point?
No, Raya.
And I do. He'll look down.
Is he starting to kind of do that slacking at the shoulders and everything?
Yeah, he's sinking.
And that is when she will finally decide to step in. In the one hand, getting her arms around him, and in the other, offering him a chance to hold on for support.
He does. He takes it, and she'll feel a tug against her hair as he grips quite violently. It's actually quite violent, actually, when he's trying to calm himself down. You get the impression that if you weren't there, he'd be hitting himself.
Yep. She will just pull him into her, hold on to him, and if he grips too tightly or pulls too hard or Even if he hammers a fist against her at this point, better her than him.
That's bad of me to think that.
It's not bad, Ryan.
But I want her to, so I can just stop. Do you know?
I do, Ryan.
I'd rather just have the guilt with me than just have this.
You shouldn't punish yourself, Ryan.
How can I not, 10 Point? Look at me.
I am looking, Ryan.
Like I said, I hate when I lose it like that. It gets at my skin.
I am trying, Raya.
I'm not.
We are Guru. You don't have to punish yourself for doing what comes naturally to us. You don't have to hate yourself or doubt yourself for the things that are inevitable sooner or later. We
You'll just nod.
frenzy, we lose our tempers, we break things, we lash out. I'm not blameless in this either.
I just rub his face and we'll nod and yeah.
She'll try to, is he still incredibly tense or is he kind of loosened up?
He's loosened up and he just looks her dead in the face. Do you know, I've thought about what Felix was thinking about doing to himself. I think about it a lot, actually. I don't know what keeps stopping me. But it does.
And finally, he hits a chord and her face falls. And she'll take a hold of his arm and just try to guide him down to sit on the edge of his bed, sitting next to him. Just so they're not awkwardly standing in the room.
And if the rest of them hear that, you know what they'll make of me.
Raya, we are your family. The worst we'll do is fear for you and care for you.
I can't tell them why.
Then tell me.
I failed her, 10 Point. I failed that wife in there. I failed.
How have you failed them, Raya?
I made a promise to always be there, didn't I? Now look at me, caged up in here. And I promised I'd be honourable to her, and what was the first thing I did? because I couldn't cope. I drank myself to death, and I probably laid my tongue into some random woman's mouth because it was easier. Because I could stop screaming in my head about what was happening. And it turns out the entire spirit shouted how dishonorable I was when I have broken myself to be a son of Stag.
Right, you acted out in a moment of pain.
And I will be her husband, and I will provide for her and do all that. But I look down.
And she'll reach across and pull him over to her again. She'll use the other hand, pull back some of the hair out of his face. Right, we never demanded that you love her.
She deserves that.
She knows better, Raya.
And he's going to roll willpower. Because poor old Aiden has Hamid dreams.
Aww.
Oh, no, he's bawling. Botched. He's bawling badly. He breaks completely. Like, even slumps off the bed and like puts his head over his arms and his head.
And she will follow him down at that point onto the floor. And much as he's... Huh?
10 point is hit, and in the packling, 10 point is hit with the image of when he was a Hamid in the Hamid Society that you married for love.
Yeah. No, she sympathizes, but she sinks down to the floor with him, much like he's held her a million times now on the porch. She sinks down until she's settled behind him, wraps him up, pulls him into her chest, and just takes idly stroking his hair.
It'll go on for a while because a fucking botch is a botch. Christ, I mean, you notice his nails are digging into his skin as well.
If she has to, she'll, with one arm still around him, still holding him against her, will very calmly reach over and take a hold of his hand and either hold it or like place it on her own leg or arm. Just anything to try to stall the self-harm.
And eventually he'll come back. And like look down, his eyes will be puffy and all that. And yeah, we are. Stupid me, right?
It's not stupid, Raya. The only reason that these misconceptions don't pain me is that I never got to have them.
Maybe it's better this way. Maybe this is the punishment I got.
It's not a punishment, Raya.
It fucking feels like it.
She's still a good woman, Raya, and you care for her, even if it's not in the way that you had hoped. And she still cares for you, Raya.
Then why are you here and not her?
Fuck.
That caught her, didn't it?
Yep. There's actually, like, that hits her just good enough that, like, it's not like horrified shock or anything, but just that initial surprise is so sharp that it actually, like, leaks a little bit. Like, there's just that little ping of, oh shit.
And he'll look at her dead in the face. Exactly.
And much the same way that when he asks her something like, what's the lesson? Something where she is being very delicate about answering. It's the same way that she kind of places together her words on this one. Because Raya, just as you may not love her, but care, she can care without loving you. And while I do not do so as her wife, I still love you dearly.
That is power first. Okay, that's a bit better, and I'll roll some minute sub to keep him from showing that. Totally roll against it.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2.
Wish my P&E pool was bigger. Wish it was so much bigger. I'm tempted to be an asshole. I'm going to be an asshole because she's keying in on him hard to keep the track of him. Son of a bitch, that's still only 1.
Keeps it together. Stone-faced. Who would love me, right?
Say again?
Who would love me, right?
Do you think I'm lying to you, Raya?
Not you. No, not you at all. In fact, you worked out just the way I wanted. Just the way I planned. In fact, you did so well you exceeded my expectations at some point.
If that is the case, then Raya, it is much the same worked out as I wished.
And he's gonna lie when he says this.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yes, he is, because Aiden lashes out at people he cares about. What does that say about me when all I have is a filthy menace love? And he will lie when he says that. Just roll. And that's just the 1 success.
Oh, I might have a shot. I might be a contender.
Yeah. Boosh.
But you don't, Raya. If nothing else, Banshee and Bailey care for you deeply. You are family to us. We welcomed you into our home well before you were Pack. I'm sure there are others, Raya, who have cared for you. You are not incapable of being loved. And I loved you whether you liked it or not, Raya.
Maybe, we'll see. This is my lot in life, 10 point. This is the price I pay for duty.
It is the price we all pay for responsibility, Raya. And were I not a mule, I would be paying the same price.
Yeah. Because that's the thing about us. We do it. And everyone's supposed to be happy, dandy. You get up slowly. But I hate being a Fianna sometimes. And spit in the ground and we'll go and walk off. And actually, he'll lie when he says that because he doesn't. Well, no, actually, no, he does kind of get. He's pissed off. He's in a bad mood, so he'll keep walking.
Yeah, she knows. And she will stubbornly purse her lips and begin to, she's not going to like give a fervent chase here. She'll go ahead and take a second to get herself up. And once she's stepped out of the room, we'll wave to one of the kin so they can do away with the broken mirror, probably have it replaced fairly soon. How far is he going?
Outside, putting on his boots and picking up a packet of cigarettes off the table.
So putting on his boots, he's in his boxershorts. Where's he going?
Going outside.
And yeah, she'll direct the kinfolk to that. And she'll deviate a little further than he did into the kitchen. And she's not going for anything harder than beer the way he's feeling. But she'll still grab a pack and bring it out and set it on the table alongside him.
Oh, he will whirl and he will. What, do you want me to drink, do you? That'll keep me nice and quiet.
Do you suddenly not like beer, Raya?
Oh no, I suppose it's a stereotype though, right? Aiden drinks a lot. He's a big guy who likes to drink.
I don't especially care for stereotype, Raya.
What, do you think that's the only way I can cope? I'll have one more, will I? He says very, bitterly. You can feel the spite out of his tongue.
And she lofts a brow. And she'll reach down and take out one of the bottles. And we'll offer it to him neck first, as if it was a fucking bludgeoning weapon. Kind of lofting her brows and tilting her head.
What, do you want me to beat you now as well, do you?
Is there any answer that will not make you angry, Raya? If you think I have done wrong, and you think I have judged you so poorly, then I deserve one.
Why would I give you a beating when that's the fucking thing you want?
I don't want to be beaten, Raya.
Seems like it to me. The only time you ever get scared is when I pick up this bottle.
Funny then, how that's what I offered you.
Because part of you is thinking he's just going to not do it. And part of you is worrying that he might. Which part is stronger, I wonder?
And she mutely continues to hold out the bottle. He hasn't slapped her hand away. She's not like putting it in his face, but she's not gonna back down on it.
Peony 10 point. Fuck it. I'm a pioneer. That is. Whoa.
Jesus. Fuck.
Wow.
Now, if only you had a specialty.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh my god. Dear viewers, 4 out of 5 dice are 10s.
Yes. Reveal yourself, 10 point.
think of what to give you. There's a certain amount of him being right, because to a point she's offering him things that she thinks will appease him, not necessarily because she thinks he needs a crutch, but because she's trying to offer him things that make him happy. And when the first one didn't work, offering the bottle was admittedly something of an impulse. So yeah, she definitely does not want to be menaced with broken glass. It is not a thing that she likes, and it's a thing that scares the crap out of her. But at the same time, he's not going to respect anything about her if she just backs down. So, no, she's just going to continue to hold it out. And he's going to either have to refuse it or accept it. She's trying to kind of... It's almost like, aw, baby's first steps trying to play the game by just putting it in his hands.
And he will sit down in the chair and cross his legs and stare at her. Light a cigarette and stare.
And when he moves to sit, like, she's not going to fucking follow him around with the bottle. That's too much. When he sits, she just reaches over and very calmly sets the bottle.
Did I say you could drop that?
And she pauses, like the bottom of the bottle has like tinked against the table, but she hasn't removed her hand yet. No, Raya.
Then why are you moving?
And yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little more continuously, because that's a lot of fucking successes. It's a lot of tens.
Yeah.
And yeah, he can practically see her gathering some small measure of resolve, and yeah, she picks it back up and continues to hold it out.
So why do you think I need beer now?
I think, Raya, that you frequently have a drink without indulging in drunken foolishness whenever it suits you, which is fairly often. I would have offered you tea, but then you might have wanted to put whiskey in it. He can tell she's trying to fucking provoke him into doing it at this point, just because she feels like an idiot.
I see, so now your next resort is to make me snap, is it? Understandable. I've been known to get angry.
The arm starts to fall again.
Did I say drop that?
She takes in a breath and just puts the arm back up.
See, I'm getting mad at people assuming things about me. Do you want me mad?
I don't want you to be angry for the sake of being angry, Raya. But when you're angry, I know how to help.
Do you now? That's why he stands up. I mean, he goes up like a lightning bolt.
Ooh! There's a tiny cringe. She doesn't fucking fully flinch. She doesn't take a step back, and her arm doesn't budge. But yeah, he catches that little squint of the eyes, like, ah, shit. Like half expecting a hand to come across her face in the process. Bracing.
Careful, Omega. Don't ever assume you know everything, even about your own pack members. Because the thing about Guru that I find is that we change and do very unpredictable things the moment that rage always goes. Remember, I even bit off half your face one time.
And while she is not so strong of resolve that she's going to turn and look him in the face, she does turn her head about, putting him more at the 3/4 rather than having her looking off. I deserved it, Ryo. I deserved worse.
We'll see. You can have that bear. And he'll take the 6-pack and walk back inside.
This time, yeah, she's gonna hesitate to follow, weighing her options.
I mean, if she looks at him, she can see him closing the door as he opens the one and takes a drink.
What, closing the door to the cabin?
No, his room.
And she lets out a very tense breath, especially once he's moved so far as to go ahead and head straight back into his room. Because she's not going to chase him into his lair again. She doesn't go in there without a direct invitation each time. And she just kind of stares at the bottle. And she'll go ahead and, at a slower pace, will slip back inside. Move to the fridge. Tuck the bottle back inside. And then just kind of look at a loss for something to do with herself. Anything, really. She'll probably, she'll probably end up on the couch, picking some random DVD and throwing it in just to make noise. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best place to end that.
Yep. So with that, we'll say thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. We'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.